Welcome to the Roland Cloud Academy. I am Nutrix, and together we will have a first look at the JUPITER-8 model expansion for Synology Pro. Now, if you don't have Synology Pro and you want to know how to install it, or you don't know how to navigate the Roland Cloud Manager, please visit the Roland Cloud YouTube channel to get all the information. Keep in mind that a model expansion is an expansion for Synology or for a hardware device that is a XenCore compatible and model expansion compatible device. What's important to understand here is that the model expansion do not run by themselves. They have to be inside Synology to be able to run. So you need to have the Synology to be able to have the model expansions. Let's go. When you open Synology Pro, you usually have this window. Synology Pro, the name, and some controls at the bottom here. You click on it. If you want to select only the sound that are JUPITER-8 in the browser, you have all here for the filter of the banks. And I want to also have, instead of all for the models, I just want to see the model of JUPITER-8. I click on this one and I only see the JUPITER-8 in my window. So then I can actually click on one and actually have a listen to the sound before selecting it. If I really want to keep it, I double click on it, then I've got my sound. At the bottom of the window, I've got different choices here. I've got cutoff, resonance, attack, release, and cross modulation. So these are kind of a quick access to the value that is underneath. And visually, it doesn't tell you where it is. It's going to change from where the original sound in the synthesis of the synth will be changed from. Basically, these are just quick access to modify these values. You also have poly, solo, unison, and solo unison. So the way the keyboard or the synthesizer will react on how many notes you're playing and that information. You also have the volume here under the name level. So you can change that to have quick access over the volume of your sound. Now, if you have the Pro version, you click on Edit, and then you've got the full window of editing and creating your sound. One thing that is really important, if at any point you go, okay, what is this for? I'm looking at this number, this value, this LFO, how does it work? Look into the menu section here, and there's Help. If you select Help, you're gonna get a PDF that explains every button, every knob, every function in the model expansion. So one good place to go back and go, okay, what's this button about? What is this supposed to be doing? And you got the information. Envelope mode, that's where it does. That's what it does. The way it works is fairly simple. You've got two VCOs. One of them, the second one, can be also a low frequency, LFO if you want. You have a mixer of the two VCOs. You have a VCF, so the filter section. You have a VCA, an amplifier. One LFO, dedicated LFO, and the section about how this LFO is affecting what, so a VCO modulator. You have an envelope 1 and envelope 2. 1 is for a modulation, often sent to filter. 2 usually for the volume. It's your choice. There's also a section about effects at the end. If you want to use it, you can also turn it off if you don't want any effects. One part that is important is you have this section at the top here, top right, about the internal schematics of the synthesizer, so how everything is connected. So if you're wondering how all of these parts of the synthesizer interact, the graphic is here to understand how this is working. And there's also this little window about condition, pitch drift, and portamento. Now, the condition is about how old the synthesizer is, because as a piece of hardware dries up or gets older, dusty, rusty in the worst case, it will change the way it reacts. It will sound differently. The filter will be less snappy or duller or whatever it is. It's going to be changing. So they actually put into the code here some, process to oldify, if I can use that word, to have your synth react like it's an old synthesizer. So it will change the way a lot of these parameters actually react. And there's also pitch drift. All analog synthesizers drift at one point. Is it very minimal or is it very obvious? And that's this little choice here. If you want it to be more analog, you can actually push this further. You can turn it on and move it. Or if you want it to be a lot more stable, which is in a way unnatural for an analog synthesizer, then you would bring the pitch drift and the condition to 0, like a new, absolutely perfect analog synth. So after that, you basically just have to Pick the sound you like and play along. Thank you for watching. Put your comments below.